other YouTubers rather, you might hear this a little bit later. Now, people talk about society, people talk about doing the right thing, people talk about getting involved and making things messy. You know what I'm saying? The rap game will never be like it was back in the 80s and 90s. It'll never go back to that. There's so much money being generated from it, but the artists see very less of it. Even veteran artists still have to do shows to get money. Now, back in the 90s, when hip hop was thriving and was an actual business, there were companies signing artists. Like every rapper would have their own record label. And then they would sign their own artists. You know, everybody wanted to get in on the rap game, in other words. So, Chicago is not known for its rap and having rap companies. So people would have to go to New York or LA to get, their shine and their group. This was a house music type thing. But you was in the hip hop and didn't care for the house movement, this was it. So unless you was an international pop act, you didn't really cross over. So in 1994, 95, there was everybody getting into rap as it was going up the upper echelon, movies coming out that's more hip hop oriented. So people are getting more and more into it, even in the Midwest and everywhere else. So people are starting to believe they could be rappers. So this record label had reached out. It's not one that anybody would even recognize, but it's a small label. So they had a couple of representatives come out. Some small black artists. I mean, used to be black, actually R&B singers. And these black R&B singers were now A&Rs, for this label. So there's this group that they, everybody have their local group that they rap with from their hood, on their block. And their mom used to put them in these talent shows back in the day. And when they were younger, they was gonna be like New Edition. That didn't happen. So then the lead wanted to be like Usher. But at that time it was Tevin Campbell. So Tevin Campbell, yeah, he got a voice like Tevin Campbell, except for my boy can dance. So then, as the years went by, and when you get to 94, because that was back when they were kids, then he went through the whole, my kid could do this, now he can sing like Tevin Campbell, but he dances, and he didn't work. So by 94, all of that was over. It was, my kid can rap now. So this kid now is rapping. He went from, I'm going to be a New Edition, I'm going to be Tevin Campbell. Now, I'm going to be what's up, Mr. Chris? Yeah, so now it goes from that to I'm going to be a rap star. So now his rap group he got is called Cynical. So they used to go to this guy used to record like all the, like R. Kelly recorded there when he was a public announcement. He did a song at his studio. A couple of people who come to Chicago, but mostly R&B acts, no rap acts. So they didn't know how to do any rap songs. So they was like, y'all could use the studio, and they give it to them for basically a reduced price. But they was called Cynical. And now the dude who's the lead rapper, the one that wanted to be Tevin Campbell and all that, the one who the mama's behind, he got his boys back. And now instead of doing New Edition, this is love, I don't know. Instead of doing all that, now they got barrettes in their head, braids and barrettes, talking about they cynical. And each one had a crazy name. His name was Chosen Taguchi from Cobra Kai, which I thought was crucial. Chosen Taguchi. I'm Chosen Taguchi. And their style was a cross between Bone Thugs and Wu-Tang. They were normally twists, doing all this twisting. That's when twisting was coming the new norm, which is different from what Bone does. I tried to explain that to people. They just have a similarity. So when they started all this twisting back and forth and doing their tongue twisting like twisters started doing, so they came all the way down and they started like, we gonna tongue twist and do all this on the records. Plus, they was using all these sound effects like Wu-Tang. They was Cynical. So Cynical, I don't forgot all the rest of the other members, but Cynical was all like villains. Like they all had villain names from like video games, movies, anything. So the dude who was Chosen Taguchi, I remember that because of Cobra Kai, because of Karate Kid, but at that time it was Karate Kid. But Chosen, that was the guy. So I'm like, hey, Chosen. And me, I always root for the bad guys in the movie. It's just natural. Yes, right, sir. So anyway, it all breaks down to a whole nother tale of broken dreams, except for people's attitudes started to change. Now, my cousin's an artist. He raps. Cousin's better than him. He eat them alive. And he basically did. But that was beside the point. He wasn't going to rap with these dudes, no way. They was just happened to be in the studio the same day. And by them being in the studio on the same day, it led to this problem. Now, once he did that, it kind of put some doubt in his mind that he could really do what he was doing. So they had another group that was coming in called the Rascals. And one of them ended up actually making it and getting a deal and doing something. but all of them had a different name from like the Little Rascals. And this one guy, they changed his name to Stymie. So they had a song called Swinging with the Rascals. And most of the dudes from Cynical was like, yo, I might want to mess with them and see if I could become a rascal, because I don't know if this dude gonna sign us to a deal or not. So the record label came by and said, we liked y'all demo tape. We want y'all to perform live in front of the money. The guy who was gonna be the money. There's this old white guy sitting there. He's gotta be in his 60s. And he's sitting there and he's going, all right, now let me hear the song. It's an old white guy sitting there while they listening to this record, right? And he's sitting there listening to a bunch of teenagers rap, using this flow, and he's just sitting there like he gives him a thumbs up. And then he leaves. Then the guy comes in and said, man, y'all did it. Y'all getting signed. So they was excited. I'm gonna get a chain, I'm gonna get a this, I'm gonna get a that. So when they get signed, they thinking they getting $1 million. So the brother's like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. It don't work like that. Now the money, all the money at first is gonna go into making y'all album. Then we gonna go from there and take it to a whole nother level. So they was like, oh, okay, cool. Cause man, we finna blow up, man. We finna do this. Then they like, okay, we gonna shoot a video for the single y'all did. So while they finna shoot a video for their single, hey, they had a 2-hit maxi single. I know y'all don't know what that is, but they used to have a maxi single that they was gonna put out first before they even record the album. It was gonna be like a CD with 2 songs on it, some remixes. So they brought in a guy to remix one of the songs they did. Another producer. Now, when I tried to have a conversation with them, now I've met them about 1 million times. Now that I meet them again, their arrogance level is a little bit higher from them, because now they know they signed, and then they start to disrespect the guy who's from the Rascals, because the Rascals had their deal and they were signed and their song wasn't even released yet, and they was trying to explain to the game like what was going on here. Then I won't be using no names. There was a certain artist that came out before all of them, and that artist had a video out and a song. This guy was actually all the way over by this guy was like, he was there apparently at the studio, but he didn't record anything there. But he comes out and it's another member with him, and they have a group. Not only that, they had a $100,000 video. We're on a video shoot where this is probably maybe $3,000, maybe $4,000, and these dudes got $100,000 video. And this is in the 90s, like 94. So this dude is out there with a $100,000 video, and don't nobody know who they are, and they all signed to the same label. So they start to question themselves, like, who is this dude who don't have a name? And y'all spent $100,000 on their video, and they can't even rap. So they can't even rap, and you just spent that for a rap album for them, and they only have a single. But our video, we can't even get the lighting they wanted, any of the directions or the things they was talking about. They couldn't even get it. Oh, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Hopefully I'm here another 10. But they couldn't even get that. You know why? Because the studio used them as a tax write-off. They had no intentions of really even distributing them. They were low tier. They didn't have any plans of really making them stars or nothing. They just needed to sign some acts to have them on there so they could make money disappear. So they putting everything low budget in there, but charging them more. So I saw the play, and I said, man, I told the guy who was stymied at the time, I said, bruh, they using y'all. Y'all album ain't coming out. Bruh, and this caused some problems. I'm like, bro, man, I don't think y'all album coming out, B. I was just like, I just want to let you know, because we're closer to you than the rest of these guys here from the Cynical group. Like, we're closer to you, and you from out of town, because you're closer to my cousin. Y'all real MCs. These dudes want to be MCs to make some money. Y'all real MCs. So that's the difference. So we had a more connection to you guys, mainly you, than any of them. But here's the problem. And then my boy came over and talked to me and was like, yo, you know, dude was upset with me. And he was like, here's the thing, man. Even though you were saying what was right, it looked like, in their eyes, it was like you was dissing. Like I'm criticizing them or coming down on them. Now I'm giving them game to let them know what's happening. Not saying your album ain't coming out because you suck or this. I told them the reason why their albums wasn't coming out. Told them to play. But they put their energy into me. They wanted to put all of their hatred, all of their disgust, their disdain, they wanted all of that to be on me. Yep, I'm a hater. I just don't want to see them do anything. I'm jealous of them. You know, the whole shebang. I was all that. I was a problem. I don't want to see them grow. I'm a hater. The whole nine, the whole spiel, all of it that comes with the territory. I was that. I was called that. I was perceived as that. I was that to them. So he ain't like me after that. He was like, yo, man, keep dude away from me. So my boy told me, because you know both of them, he was like, look, man, I know how it is. He was like, they don't take it as you helping them. They taking it as you dissing them. They not looking at it like he just did me a solid. They take it as if you dissing. He was like, look, I know how to deal with dude because I dealt with him before. Everything gonna be cool. Just let me talk to him and then we'll get past all this. I'm like, all right, do your thing, man, because I can care that one or another. If this was somebody I couldn't whoop their ass, then maybe, but I could have whooped his ass. He about 5'5". I'd have whooped his ass about 6 times before he even knew he was in a fight. But that was beside the point. There was no fear from him of doing something to me. He just was upset. So now, like a cancer, it's spreading. He's spreading that word around that I'm hating on the groups. And then he started making up stuff that I never even said. So they was like, they don't want you in the studio when they there. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. So the dudes from Cynical, they heard what happened. They said, yo, man, we heard you was hating on us, saying we can't rap and we suck and all that, and you was over there high-fiving us. I said, one, I ain't high-fiving none of y'all. I never said you couldn't rap. I said y'all don't rap. Y'all don't come from rap. Y'all come from singing. But he was an MC. There's a difference. But I know what he's trying to do. But he said, you said our album ain't coming out. I said, all right. I tell you like this. When your album drop, hit me up and say, look, my album's out. And then I'll shut up. Then you shut me up. So until your album come out, don't even talk about it no more. So now I'm lit. Now I'm pissed. So the guy who stymied me, who was with the Rascals, I'm like, dog, you made a big issue for nothing. Didn't even have to be like that. But you know what? Go ahead. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. You see, it takes money to grow money. There's only so far you're gonna go. And if people don't see that you are worth what they putting out, they're not gonna give you the money. The other group, they felt we can make money off them. They believed it. You know what was in their mind? They're a small record company. They can't afford it. They doing the best they can to shop us around. But they had $100,000 to pay for one music video. So how much money you think they spending with y'all? You see, if people got the money, they will spend it on you. If people want it, they will find money if they think they're gonna make more money off of you. People don't give you the money they got and say, I hope to get my money back. What? That's not how business works. You think the NBA paid Ja Morant and them $200-something million? And hopefully they could get $200 million back off Ja? That ain't how the league works. If they can afford to pay you $200 million, that's because they making $5 or better. That's how business works. Nobody is sitting around thinking about making back the money they spent. When they make these movies at Marvel, you think they make them so that they can make back the money they spent to make it? Hell no, that defeats the purpose. They'd be like, well, at least they made their money back. It'd be like, they'd be ready to choke somebody. People get fired over that. They get fired for the movie making money. They have a target number. And if they ain't hitting that target number, they gonna be pretty pissed off. If you ain't touching $1 billion, it's a failure. Now, listen. This is what I'm talking about. That's business. And that's big business. So they're only investing crumbs in you because they expect crumbs. They don't expect you to do anything but be a tax write-off for them. So they're signing all these new acts. Don't you see when all these artists start signing new acts, it's normally at the end of their run? Remember when Rockefeller signed all these new artists? They had MOP, they had everybody, right? They kept signing all these new acts. They had True Life, they had everybody they were signing. Right when Rockefeller was falling apart. Right when G Unit was breaking up, what did they do? Right when G Unit was breaking up, what did G Unit do? They signed everybody. They even signed MOP. Mobb Deep. They signed all these people. Society tells you what they want you to know. Society said, oh, trust this side, but hate this side. Oh, this side is cool, but screw that side. That's how they work. So you gotta keep your head on a swivel. Oh, not at all. The music business is crazy. I don't know if the Rascals ever, hey, how you doing? I don't know if they ever came out with a rap album. But it wasn't with that label. Cynical, no album ever came out. The group disbanded and they tried to go and create new bands, new music, right? The usual. Then what happened after that? The usual. People blame each other. People got to get real jobs in life. They mom then spent all that money trying to make them into stars. Realize my son ain't gonna do that. So all the dreams changed. Now they was about 15, 16 years old when they made that transition into rappers. So they was like going through their senior year of high school, boasting they had a little record deal. Their signing bonus, I found out later, $10,000 to split up with 4 guys. $10,000 signing bonus. $10,000 signing bonus. And they spent $100,000 on another artist's music video alone. And they was like, how did they get $100,000? They're a small record label. That's what they sold you. They're businessmen. They sold you they were small. And yes, they're small to a conglomerate. They're small to Universal Records. They small to Epic Records. But they're not small to you. They sold you on the idea of small, and you projected in your mind what small meant. Hey, how you doing, sir? So, let this be a light lesson. Don't project. Well, nowadays, they can look up companies and all that, so it's a lot easier than the 90s. But don't let other people's projections change your reality and change your mind thoughts of thinking and selling yourself short. Hey, how you doing? They're businessmen and they treated it like a business, and the results was a business result. They said they're gonna allow us to give them the bare minimum or below it, and they're gonna thank us for it. And they did. Now they were able to save more money on taxes than you as an artist, marking up everything that you use in studio time, marking up all this stuff they can make money disappear that didn't actually happen. You gotta love the suburbs now. People could just do a drug deal live in the afternoon in the middle of the street. It's crazy. I mean, could you be more obvious? Jesus Christ. Young teenagers trying to get their little fix. It's a shame. Some Hispanic kids pull up in the middle of the street, start jumping in and out of cars, switching cars in the middle of the street in a suburban neighborhood. Oh well. Anyway, like I was saying, if they have the money, they will invest it in. They have the thought, they have the care, they'll invest it in you. Mm. Yeah, well, those was back in the day, you know. We came up something a little different. Well, the R&B singers, they was A&Rs. They knew how to sell it. They came with that, I'm your brother talk, work with the man. They did all that selling. And they sold them to lessen their own value. So they got no one to blame but themselves. Their parents was managing them. So, yeah, that's basically, that was the gist of everything. I didn't see anything wrong with what transpired. I see it all as a business. And then when I try to get people game, they wanted to bite my head off for it. Right? I'm used to the format. I'm used to the situation. I'm used to the process. Yeah, well, when you look at everything in totality, when it's all put together, you start to state to yourself and start to say, hey, you know, what's the importance? What's the real drive here? What's the real motivation? And this is where should I put my bets? It's very interesting. Mm-hmm. So if this teaches anybody anything, it'll teach you one thing. Never shun outside information. Actually know your worth. And if someone's not willing to pay your worth, they don't believe in it. Don't let people tell you on what they don't got. And that's about the best lesson I could tell you. It's a hip hop life lesson. So hopefully this helps somebody. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm out. Finna put my bet down. I'm gonna bet the Miami Heat tonight. Deuces.